On today's episode of Brewing Around the Realm, I try to clone one of my favorite seasonal beers from Troegs Brewing Company, Blizzard of Hops. Stay tuned to see if it works out. Welcome back to Brewing Around the Realm. I'm Dave, your amateur brewmaster. In today's episode, we're going to be cloning Troegs Blizzard of Hops. It's one of my favorite seasonal beers. I figured since I can brew beer, I might as well brew myself 5 gallons instead of just getting one bottle or a 6-pack. And that way I can have it for several months. And when I'm done with that, I can brew some more. If you've not been by the Troegs Brewery or are unfamiliar with Blizzard of Hops, I will put the link in the description below next to the recipe for today's beer. And if you're ever in Hershey, PA, you should stop by the brewery and take the tour. So let's get started. Here's a look at today's recipe with all of the ingredients we're going to be using. The link to today's recipe will be in the description below. But here's what we're going to be using. White wheat malt, unmalted wheat, American Pilsen malt, which you saw in our Northern Brewer Pilsner Smash beer from last week, light Pilsen extract, Centennial hops, Chinook hops. We were able to get whole leaf hops from this year's harvest, Ella. I needed Galaxy for the recipe today, but I could not get Galaxy, so Ella was the closest thing I could get. El Dorado hops, and today we're going to be using Sapphire US 05. This is what I was able to come up with, and I think this is going to be a good recipe, so let's get started. I got the strike water and the grain bag in. I'm going to get the grain in here, start dumping. This is the most grain I've ever used in a beer at 11 pounds, so kind of pushing our limits here. But I got everything in there. Whew, grain dust everywhere. Alright, let's mix this up. Make sure I get all the grain mixed. I don't want any dough balls forming in the bottom of this. We're a little bit low on our mash temperature here, so see if we can warm that up a little bit. Alright, so I took some of the liquid out of here. I heated it up in the microwave in order to get this a little bit warmer. And we're at, it gets us up to 152. So that's close enough. So seal this up and I'll start our 90-minute mash rest. I'll come back and stir this every 15 minutes or something just to try to get our efficiency up a little bit more. I've already been stirring this every 10 to 15 minutes for the last probably hour and 20 minutes here, and I just want to see if our conversion is complete, so let's see what happens here. Let's see. Looks good to me, so we're good to go. Alright, give this a good mix. And I'm going to add an extra gallon 170 degree water to get our, because I don't have a pot that I can do the full volume in, I'm going to put the wort in here. This will allow me to get a better idea as to how much I've got, and then I can do my sparge. That worked out almost perfectly. I got right at 3 gallons for my first sparge, and it's exactly what I wanted. Alright, in goes our 170 degree sparge water. And this is, again, 3 gallons. And we'll let this, stir this up and let it sit for probably 20 minutes. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to get started on our brew pot. I'm going to put an ounce of Centennial pellets in there, so we can do our first runnings with our first wort hops. Dump it in there, and then I'll get this on the stove and get it ready to go. Alright, I'll make sure I get all of this out of here, so I'm going to close the top on this, and what I'm going to do is slosh it around a little bit here to make sure that I get all the sugar off, and I'll do that a couple of times. while we're waiting for 20 minutes here. Time's up there, and this is looking pretty good. So up and out. Oh, let's just drain a little bit here. And we'll put it in the colander in the sink here and let it drain the rest of the way. So that worked out just about how I expected. I got just under 3 gallons for second runnings here. So I'm going to, since I only have a 6-gallon pot, I'm going to put most of this into the kettle, and then when it boils down a little bit, I will throw the rest in. Alright, let's get our original gravity reading here. Alright, so that ends up with the gravity reading of 1050, which is right where we want to be. Alright, we reached a boil, so I'm going to get our 30% of our dry malt extract in here. The next edition is in an hour with 30 minutes left, and that is Chinook. So we're going to add some more hops with 30 minutes left, so I'll see everybody then. Alright, 30 minutes left. I'm going to put in 1.1 ounces of Chinook hops. I was unable to get pellets, so this is the first time I'm using leaves, but I figure what the heck, let's get that in there. Next edition is in 10 minutes. I'll put in the rest of the extract. 20 minutes left. I'm going to get the rest of our dry malt extract in. Mix that in. These like to crystallize, so don't be afraid to get in there and scrape that out of there. Alright, 15 minutes left, in goes our ounce of El Dorado. And I'm also going to throw in 5 teaspoons of yeast nutrient and a World Flock tablet. Thought everybody'd like to see what I ended up with here, and I'm pretty sure that the color looks right, and it's just going to take a couple hours for this to cool down. I'm going to get our final reading here. Let's see what we got. We got 18.2, so that's pretty good. So 18.2 gives us a final gravity reading of 1072, which is not really far off from where we were shooting. Our goal was 1066, so I'm happy with that. I think that was a good target to shoot for. Let's get our yeast in here. Bring our packet down and our scissors. Got our kitchen shears here ready to go. That's it. Get the lid on. I'm ready to go. So this is probably going to ferment out in, I'm guessing, about 7 days. Then it gets a 5-day dry hop with Chinook and Galaxy, which, as you know from the beginning of the video, we could not get Galaxy. I could only get Ella. We'll see you back here in a couple weeks with the tasting. Please remember to like and share today's video. Happy brewing. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.